The Nintendo GameCube is awesome. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Given the love for the system by fans and collectors today, it's a bit surprising to find out that the GameCube was a relative failure for Nintendo. Nowadays, GameCube games and peripherals can demand a pretty hefty price tag, with the relatively short production windows of certain accessories and games, as well as just childhood nostalgia. One of these accessories is the GameCube component cable. The console had an AV out that it shared with its predecessors, the SNES and the N64, but Component offered higher video and audio quality. Component video was rising in popularity around the time of the GameCube, and in response to this, Nintendo released an official OEM component cable as an optional accessory. The cable has a particular chip inside that helps properly split the audio and video into component signals, giving a cleaner and higher quality output than any converter, upscaler, or even the component cable for the Wii could offer. Unfortunately, not many people bought them, and Nintendo discontinued the product pretty quickly, going so far as to remove the digital out port on the back of the GameCube in later models to reduce production costs. This has led to a huge price hike in OEM component cables. As of right now, the average asking price for a loose cable is about $250 to $300 US. So if you wanted to get the best quality image out of your GameCube games, you had to cough up quite a bit of dough. Until now. The Retro-Bit Prism component cable is a third-party option from Retro-Bit that won't cost you a kidney. Before we get into it, we were provided this cable for review, but we are not paid or sponsored by Retro-Bit in any way. Our store, Nostalgic Video Games, carries products from Retro-Bit and many other manufacturers, and we want to test these products and make sure that they hold up to our standards, as well as show off all of these fantastic options to help you guys make the most informed decisions when purchasing new products. This cable has the GC Video DVI chip designed by Ingo Korb built into it that allows for that clean component output, and supports progressive scan mode, which gives you a higher resolution. Inside the box, you get the cable and instructions printed on the inside flap. Plug it in, turn it on, and hold B while the GameCube logo is displayed to enter progressive scan mode. Simple enough. The most important thing to note is that this cable is only compatible with the GameCube model DOL-001. This is the only model that has the digital AV output port on the back before Nintendo removed it, as I mentioned previously. Unfortunately, the capture cards we have don't support composite video, and plugging them into a bunch of different converters so we can use the capture cards kind of defeats the purpose of this cable, so you get the camera pointed at the TV. But here is the component compared to standard AV. Although not entirely coming across in the video, you do get a deeper color range, as well as some sharper edges on things. While playing through this first level, there were a few instances when images through the standard AV seemed a little blurrier and harder to focus on for me than with the component cable. If your TV doesn't have composite, or you would rather use an HDMI cable, Retro-Bit also has the Prism HD adapter that plugs into the same digital AV out port and converts the composite signal to HD. There's a little bit of difference between these adapters in the picture quality, but it is mostly up to personal discretion. The component cable has no tampering or upscaling, offering the cleanest and truest video and audio from your system. But with most TVs now foregoing composite inputs, the HDMI option is pretty convenient. The Prism HD adapter also comes with a remote and has its own built-in UI system, so you can screw around with all the settings and find what fits your TV the best. Shown here is just the default settings that show up when you plug it in. The default aspect ratio is a little weird, and the colors are pretty dark, but as I said, you can mess with all the individual settings in this menu. Pretty neat. The Prism component cable is $59.99, and the Prism HD adapter is $79.99. Overall, the Prism component cable for GameCube is a great, affordable way to get fantastic picture out of your system without having to pawn off your firstborn. Sometimes this hobby can get crazy expensive for something seemingly simple. That's why we love companies like Retro-Bit and Hyperkin who offer high-quality third-party options that give you exactly what you need without paying an OEM secondary market premium. If you found this video helpful, check out some of our other videos. We've got different product overviews, setup walkthroughs, and indie spotlights. We also stream every Tuesday and Thursday, so if you enjoyed, make sure to stick around. We'll see you next time.